there guys, this is a taping video. I just wanted to get this one out first because I want to make sure we all have black taped flags by Tuesday, and maybe if you already have taped your flag, that's completely fine. This is just for the people who maybe need some help. Maybe we're going to do it like day of before practice because they just need like a vet's help. In case you're at home and you just want to knock it out right now, I have this pole that I need to tape, and I'm just going to show y'all how to do it real quick. So first off, this pole, and I don't know if you can really see it, but it's just a white pole. If you have one of those poles that have white tape over it, it's best to just take it all off. And some of the taping around this tab is really messy, so I'm gonna fix that up as well, because it's just very thick and all over the place, so I'm just gonna redo it anyway. But yeah, I'm just fixing it just because. So I usually don't like to have too much clunky tape around the tab and around the stoppers just because that makes it easier for me. So when you have all of the tape off of your pole, you're just gonna want to start off with the stopper. So take off all of the tape around the stopper. Tape here is just really thick. Might take me a second. Also, I didn't say this at the beginning of the video, but it's best to have your black tape and a pair of scissors on hand, because it'll make this entire process a lot easier. Anyway, I'm just going to fast forward to when I have this stopper off and it is completely untaped. This isn't part of the video, but I just wanted to say this tape around here is layered on so thick, I tried to cut it open with scissors and my scissors slid forward and I cut my finger open. So don't do that, guys. Don't be like me. Anyway, also just general knowledge, more tape is not better, because that's just gonna give you problems later on when you're trying to untape it for any reason whatsoever. So never pack on your tape too heavy on your stopper, because also it messes with the weight of your flag, so your tosses are gonna be funky because one side of the flag is gonna be a little bit heavier than the other, and it's just going to mess up your tosses. But anyway, I finally got the stopper out, and you'll see the little bolt come out. And I'm not sure why it's taped like this. It's just taped a little funky. But if your flag ever makes a rattle sound when you catch it or drop it, it's always good to tape these things, because that's where the sound is coming from. And you always want to make sure that your bolts are properly taped, or else they will maybe fly out of your flag and just hit someone in the face. Or, you know, just travel like 10 feet in the air in the church parking lot, like Dada's flag. Actually, it's the one I'm taping right now. It's probably why the tape was packed on so tightly. I need a band-aid. Anyway, where's the tape? I'm just going to use up the rest of this tape right here, but since there's already a lot of tape around this area and this top area, you can also just see like kind of some metal around here. And what I like to do with my bolts, just to keep them secure, is I just put it on this end and I just go over towards the top, and then I go underneath the end again. It's hard to explain, it's more like visual. Also, I can't hold it correctly because my finger hurts, because I just cut it open. Should probably look for some band-aids. And then after you have something that's looking a little like this, I go on the other side, just kind of making an X well, not really an X, more like a plus sign, you know, on the top of that bolt, just to cover it up. And then I'll snip it. There's a lot of tape everywhere. You're gonna accumulate a lot of trash tape around here. And then I'll just go around it just to secure it and make sure that it's not going anywhere. And it's not, you know, gonna make any rattle sounds after that. And then we'll just put it back in the hole and make sure it's the same stopper that you pulled from, because these stoppers have different weights to them, if that makes sense. So if you put the wrong stopper on the wrong side, your tosses are gonna be coming out funky because of the weight difference. And then after that, after you got it right here, we're just going to take a couple strips of tape, and I'm just going to go over the bolt onto the pole and secure it on both sides. And once you have that, we're just gonna do it again on the other side. So take a little strip, snip it off, then we're gonna go on the other side. Once that's done, just like to, for extra security, do another little strip and wrap it around the pole where your black tape ended. Also, I'm sorry if I'm not very descriptive with this. Also, I'm sorry I'm getting this taping video out so late. I basically haven't had a moment to rest this entire weekend. Friday after school, had work, closed, and then this morning I went straight back at 9 a.m. And I was really trying to get it out Friday night, but I was just too tired and it was 1 a.m. But yeah, also I'm just gonna retape this part down right here. But for now, we're not putting the stopper back on. But this silk came a little loose, so I'm just gonna re-secure it. Really, you only need like one strip to secure down the silk. Just one strip that goes around. You don't have to pack it all on. You should be fine. Also, I'm just gonna add one more tape to the pole for, you know, bottom tape. Or that's top tape actually. And then after that, this is where it kind of gets a little tricky. We're just going to take a long strip, and I usually start around the tab right here, and then I just basically go along the entire pole long ways, and I try my hardest not to curve the tape so it's going completely straight with the pole. Here, I'm gonna try and move up so you can see. And then once it's a good bit distant away, I like to just press a little bit. You just press and press. If it goes diagonal, just pick it up and put it back down. That's why I don't like to snip it off until I'm at the very end of the pole. And once you've pressed it, you keep feeding until you're at the end of the pole. And then I just smooth it all down, and then you've got this long stripe on your pole, and then you're just gonna snip it. Now you're gonna turn it a little bit and do it again right next to your original strip. So I'm gonna put it down right near the tab. I'm just going to feed it through just a little bit, going to press it down to secure it, And then I'm gonna pull a lot all the way to the end. And then I'm just going to start slightly pressing, making sure it's in line, it's completely parallel with my last strip. If it feels difficult, you get used to it. Then I'm gonna press it down, make sure it's secure. And I'm going to snip it. So now I have two strips right next to each other. See how there's no white peeking through? That's why we keep it straight. So this process is a lot easier and we have none of the original pole showing through. Some of you have metal poles, and basically the same way, you know, don't let that silver show. But in this case, I'm dealing with a white pole, so when you don't see the white or the metal, you're doing good. Also, I used the scissors again and opened up a gash on my knuckle and then my thumb. So I'm pretty much done with these scissors at this point because I keep hurting myself. But it's all good. So made another long strip, nothing different, nothing changed. And I just try my hardest to go along with the last strip that I previously made. And if you ever see any weird little bumps, like air pockets that you accidentally got underneath your tape when you were pressing, just pick up your tape like this and just put it back down and try again. And smooth it out better. And you basically just rinse and repeat this formula until your entire pole is done. And just to make sure that this video isn't too long, I'm just gonna skip over and tape the other side of this flag because we now have one side done. It's the same, nothing's different, just long strips. Alright, I'm back and this entire pole is now black. Also, if you ever had any tapes on your old flag, you can really just go over them and you'll see these little indentations. If you want, you can go back over that with black tape so you can see them clearly in case you need it. And now we still have this end, you know, just there. There's no stopper, but it's completely covered. So now what you're gonna do is make sure that the stopper has all of the tape taken off. So see all this weird messy tape, we want all of that off. You really just have to peel it with your fingers as best you can. I don't recommend using scissors like me. I mean, not that I used my scissors on the stopper. I used them to cut that 10 layers of tape on the flag that was really stopping me from pulling out the stopper. But if you do see like any chips underneath these stoppers, just any imperfections, just don't let it bother you and try and be careful with it when you're pulling off the tape because you don't want to mess it up even more with your fingernails perhaps. So always just be careful when you're just pulling off tape. And I'm pretty sure you understand the gist of how to get all of it off. It's just a lot of tedious pulling and peeling with your fingers, and I'll just skip this part. Alright, I finally got a clean stopper. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to take our black tape, and you just want to get the tip of it, and you're going to go inside the stopper, but not too far inside so that you can't reach it. It's just going to be maybe a thumb away from the edge of it. So it's gonna go about right there. And you're just going to place it down like that. So it's gonna kind of look like that. And then you're just going to take your tape and you're going to feed it around, up and around the entire stopper. And it's going to be right there in the middle. It's gonna kind of be just cutting across like that. And then once you're on the other side, you're just going to pull up a little bit more and you're going to snip it off. And after that, you have this little tail and you're just going to tug it. And it's just going to end up right there, about a fist away from, or not a fist, but a thumb away from the edge. And then you're just going to do that again, but you're going to do it across this time. So it's going to be right in the middle, about a thumb away. You're just going to place it like that. And then you're going to feed it around, back over the top, and it's just going to make this X thing, or a plus sign, however you want to see it. And just try and make sure that it's all straight. We don't want any of these diagonal because it's gonna look sloppy. Get a little bit off, snip, tuck, and place. And you're going to do that 2 more times. So place with your thumb, feed it around. Make sure you're covering all of the white. We don't want to see the stopper, we just want to see the tape. And then you can just smooth it out around these edges because it is circular, so it's going to kind of have some rough edges. Just try to smooth it out as best as you can. Snip it off and tuck. And I just have to do it 1 more time. Place, feed it around. And then snip it off. And there you have it. Your entire stopper is complete. And you're just going to want to shove that back on there. And because this stopper is so loose, usually I have to force mine onto my flags. We're going to go around with a securing piece of black tape, just to make sure the stopper does not fly off in any case of drop. You know, never know what happens, so I'm just going to secure it like that. I'll go around once and then I'll pull it diagonally a little bit towards the pole, and then I'll secure it 1 more time directly onto the pole so it's not going anywhere. It's gonna look kind of ugly, but just try to do your best. And if you want, you can put a 3rd layer. Then you're just going to snip it, smooth it out as best you can. It's okay to have these little wrinkles. That's just how it has to be. And we are done with this side of the pole. All good. Now all you're going to want to do is just pull away all of the tape on the top stopper and basically do that entire process all over again. Just going to take off all this tape, take off all the stopper, take off all the tape on the stopper, retape the stopper, and secure it onto here. And it's okay if you secure it onto your silk a little bit. That's how it's supposed to look. You know, secure 3 more strips, 3 more circles, I like to say, connecting that stopper to the pole and the silk. And then it should be good. So I just took off all of the white tape on here and the stopper, and the silk is not connected to the pole anymore. So we're just gonna take our black tape, and first I wanna make sure that the silk is completely in line with the pole. It's not twisting or anything. And then I'm just going to fold this edge and fold it over again. Honestly, you don't have to be super careful about this because it's really not that noticeable, but just pull it till as high as you can get it, and then just fold it down so you can easily just wrap your tape around. You want to make sure that it's completely secured to the pole, so do what you have to. Don't stress. And then I'm just going to do a couple more loops around my pole. All right, and like I said, redo this stopper, take off all the tape, put all of the black tape just like I said, do the place and the crisscrosses until you can't see the white anymore. Then you're gonna place it back down and put 3 more securing, pieces of black tape just to make sure it's on there. I mean, I usually do 3, but you can like do 2. Maybe if it's like really hard to like jam on there and you don't think it's gonna move at all, you can put 1. It's all up to you, so don't stress. So I just finished taping the last stopper and I'm all done with all that. Don't mind the yarn, I bought a lot. Just ignore that. Anyway, that is basically it. It's really not that hard. It comes with time though, and eventually you'll get faster at it. For me, it took like, I would say about 20 minutes, but I hope this tutorial wasn't too bad. I hope it helped. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to just DM me. I'll always be able to help you. And I am probably going to try and get started on the makeup tutorial tonight. Elena never really got back to me, so take everything I say in that video with a grain of salt. But for now, I just want to make sure everyone has their flags. We still have 2 weeks left till our first show, so I wouldn't really stress too much about the makeup yet. But if in case you want to try it, I'll have it out there. All right, bye. By the way, I forgot to say, thank you for watching. Have a great night. Happy taping. I'm gonna go wash out my wound.